In the past week, alongside the exciting developments coming from the FIFA Day matches in March, where fiery competitions between national teams took place to finalize the best lineup for the upcoming Euro 2024, football fans have also been particularly interested in the hot news revolving around the position of the Red Devils head coach. Specifically, according to Football Insider, there are many concerns about whether Erik ten Hag can stay until the end of the season at Manchester United and who will be the worthy candidate to replace him, given the team's recent inconsistent form. Surprisingly, among the names mentioned, the top two candidates do not provide much reassurance to the fans of the Old Trafford team, namely Graham Potter and Southgate. Oh, imagine if Man United were to sack Ten Hag and replace him with someone who has spectacularly dismantled Chelsea. How would that be? That's what Football Insider suggested when mentioning Graham Potter, who just went through a rather tumultuous, or to put it more accurately, disastrous time at the Blues during the 2022-2023 season. And of course, that's the common question from the Red Devils fans. Just hearing the name and the most prominent information on his CV is enough to make many people shake their heads. Indeed, it's fair to say it's hard to imagine any manager instantly succeeding at Stamford Bridge last season. But Potter also didn't leave much tactical imprint like the way he succeeded at Brighton before. Clearly, Graham Potter needs to establish his reputation elsewhere before being considered by big clubs. But now, is Man United being a bit hasty with the 48-year-old manager? However, with Dan Ashworth's vision, he also has some grounds to believe that Graham Potter can take on the responsibility of leading Man United. First and foremost is his coaching philosophy and the achievements he has had in elevating Brighton from the 17th position to the upper half of the table with an attractive attacking style of play, which is no simple feat. In a way, he has built a solid framework at the Amex Stadium before departing and handing over the reins to Roberto De Zerbi. Not to mention, it must be acknowledged that Graham Potter has excelled in implementing a modern team organizational structure based on the analyses and projects of Tony Bloom. In simpler terms, if Andrew Crofts will officially intervene in football activities next season and bring long-term development strategies to the team, then Graham Potter is also one of the capable figures to embark on that journey. Furthermore, he is described by players as intelligent, psychologically astute, and resilient. From the beginning until now, the trust of the players is something that a coach needs to have to effectively manage the team and prevent dressing room turmoil. All of this implies that the disastrous days at Chelsea are not enough to fully evaluate the qualities that this coach possesses. Just look at Chelsea after Potter's departure, and you'll understand that chaos and inconsistency still linger, with some even suggesting that Potter wasn't the source of the problem, but rather a victim. The issue lies in the fact that the coach needs to prove that he can handle the pressure at big clubs. In the theater of dreams, whenever you leave the pitch with a poor result, criticism inevitably follows the next day. Becoming the coach of Manchester United has long been considered one of the toughest jobs in the world, not to mention the reactions of the players in the Manchester United dressing room. In the case that Potter does come here but faces a difficult start, what then? Will he once again become a scapegoat like his predecessors? Next up is the name that has been leading the rumors for many weeks: Gareth Southgate. According to numerous sources, the 53-year-old coach has earned respect and high praise from Manchester United's owner, including Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the upcoming sporting director, Dan Ashworth. The reason Gareth Southgate is reportedly on MU's radar is believed to stem from the close relationship between this coach and Dan. They had previously worked together very effectively during the time when Dan Ashworth was working for the FA before moving to Newcastle. Since taking charge of the England national team after the disastrous Euro 2016 campaign, Gareth Southgate has, to be fair, changed the fate of the Three Lions, leading them to the semi-finals of the 2018 World Cup and even to the runners-up position at Euro 2020. Close sources indicate that the English Football Association wants Gareth Southgate to stay until the 2026 World Cup regardless of what happens this summer. But the 53-year-old coach himself has not yet officially made a final decision. One of the most important criteria outside of tactical prowess that makes Gareth Southgate highly rated is his work in managing the dressing room. It's important to remember that one of the issues preventing the England national team from progressing far in major tournaments is the not-so-good relationship between stars within the team due to club rivalries. However, that issue has been completely resolved under Gareth Southgate's leadership. Scrolling through social media pages, what we most often notice is the relaxed atmosphere and friendly smiles of the stars at the training grounds. During Euro 20, even though Connor didn't appear on the pitch for a single minute, he described it as the greatest experience of his life simply because he enjoyed being part of the team and was willing to sacrifice his 4-week summer break to do so. Overall, Gareth Southgate and his team have revolutionized England's training camps as well as the players' morale, and the result is their remarkable success on the field. The question is whether this can be applied to one of the big clubs in Europe like Manchester United or not. The fatherly care Gareth Southgate shows to his players both in public and in private settings would be evident if he were the coach at Old Trafford. This reminds many of the relationship between Sir Alex Ferguson and the players. Additionally, Gareth Southgate's good relationships with England stars like Harry Kane or Bellingham would, in some way, benefit Manchester United in the long run. In the future, Manchester United might seek approaches like these, and that's when Gareth Southgate would play the role of the most effective bridge. Even at Old Trafford, he would receive a warm welcome from players like Harry Maguire, Marcus Rashford, Mason Mount, or Luke Shaw. They are all individuals who have received and continue to receive Gareth Southgate's trust during their national duty. The issue lies in the fact that it has been over 15 years since he last held the position of club manager since being sacked by Middlesbrough in the 2008-2009 season. While at 53, Gareth Southgate isn't too old to start anew, and his reputation has somewhat been preserved during his 8 years leading the England national team. Immediately restarting with Manchester United will still carry certain risks. Moreover, what worries fans the most is what he could bring in terms of tactical expertise from his experiences in the World Cup and Euro tournaments. What fans have noticed is that Gareth Southgate can sometimes be slow in reading the game and making personnel changes to spark a comeback. There's a feeling that he's cautious to the point of avoiding risks. This has occasionally led the England team to struggle to fully utilize the attacking potential of the star players they have on hand. Indeed, in cup competitions, a cautious approach tends to bring success, as even in a draw, there's still extra time or penalties to determine the outcome. However, at the club level, specifically at Manchester United, it's a completely different story. There are also doubts about Gareth Southgate's record against top-tier national teams, as evidenced by the clear defeat against France at the 2022 World Cup and more recently against Brazil at Wembley Stadium. According to statistics, England has only won 7 out of 22 matches against the top 10 ranked teams in the world, achieving a success rate of about 32%, a figure that might be somewhat hard to accept for a country producing many top-class stars. After the match against Brazil, coach Gareth Southgate personally spoke out to deny all rumors and stated that such information lacked respect. But no one can be sure how the future will unfold and who will hold the upcoming managerial position at Manchester United. Whether it's NG or Gareth Southgate, many Manchester United fans would likely be disappointed.